Hi Brandon, this is Chris, AGF co-owners, and we are going to show you some techniques. For right now, I'm going to show you some lapel guard, namely the reverse Delta worm, armbar, and back take. The reason I really like this is because I have certain light bulbs that go off in my head when high-level practitioners or instructors say certain things. If they say things like always, or this can always work, or this is extremely high percentage, or this is my go-to move, like certain things like that, it's like, oh, okay, this guy's really landing this on high-level people. So when Keenan Cornelius, the developer of the worm guards, goes into how he thinks this is the culmination of his work. If you can get to the reverse Delta worm from any variation of the lapel guards, and then there's the back and the armbar attack system, that sent light bulbs off in my head into where I really want to know that and then train to get there. So me and my crew are training to get there real hard, and now you can too. So I got his lapel open. There's a thousand different ways to do that, okay? Of course, it's always better to get it open from the back side, right, instead of just the front. If I can get this break in his gi to come towards the front of his belly, that's better. Like for example, if I just barely had it on the side, the lapel is not as long, right? So I started to go towards my reverse Delta worm, okay? Chris has got back problems, so you can do this from standing. You can also do it from your knee. I'll show it from the knee because I just got to sit him down anyways. And then his knee's in the middle, right? Like he's gonna pass guard. So I'm also not passing my foot all the way through. You can do that for the classic worm guard, but keeping your foot in the wormhole here is great because I can still push on his hip and still get that push-pull back and forth. Also, when my leg is completely out, this makes it a little easier for Chris to push on my toes and step over my foot, and then I end up in like this kind of position, which I don't want to be in right now. So this makes it much harder for Chris to push on my foot and step over. Okay, so like I'm going to traditional worm, I pass that lapel to the other hand, and instead of going around this way, I go underneath like I'm playing De La Riva guard, and I'm going to grab palm up. The reason I grab palm up is because Chris needs to break the grip in the direction of my fingers. So he would have to grab this and push it this way, which just pushes it around his leg. If I were to grab it this way and he pulled it backwards, that starts to make it more difficult for me. So that's why it's a palm up grip, okay? Now the next movement that I want to do, without including this arm yet, we'll include that arm in a minute. I want to go towards his back, okay? So as I go towards his back, I'm going over here for that deep De La Riva hook. And you'll notice my leg is over his leg. I don't want to be like this, okay? So when I start in the front, I will push off of his hip in order to raise my hip up, right, to get my leg over the top, right? So now sometimes his arm gets in the way, whether I'm pulling his arm, there's several different variations. A lot of times he's reaching in and grabbing my arm. That'll help create separation. I can also just flare his elbow. There's many different things I can do there. But at the basic version, I want to show you guys like getting over and getting to this point right here. Okay, so I'm always going to load my opponent. I want to load him onto me like this. Okay, so that I'll be able to kick him away. Now I'm going to kick my left leg and go to like the old crab ride back take, that kind of stuff, and I'm on his back. Okay, so I get him to that point. All right, so here I can swing and invert kind of past my leg and use this free leg to come around the corner hardcore. Bring my knee over and I'm around his back. Okay, so I pull him into me. Okay, so I'm here like this, and then I can elevate him away. I first can elevate him just like this. So you'll notice he's sideways on his hips. My hand is below his knee. Chris cannot get onto his knees again. Try and get on your knees, Chris. All right, this gets very difficult. I'm able to attack his back. The lapel's already out. I'm on his back. Okay, so we're here. Nice try. Another thing I want to talk about, right, is the armbar, okay? And then we'll bring those two into a combination here. So sometimes when I'm coming around the corner, Chris doesn't like this and he starts to grab my collar. You can try and square up on me a little bit, Chris. There you go. So he tries to grab my collar. This can be difficult, and there's ways to go under and there's ways to go around. But again, I want to load him onto me. So I'll keep that grip with the arm. I load him onto me. I push his knee through, and now he's sucked up on the mat again with his body sideways. Perfect world, I'm above his knee. Okay, so his arm's here. He knows I'm trying to go towards his back. He's trying to push me down, you know, these kinds of things to stop me from going to his back. So I hold on to this grip here still. It's very hard for him to break that grip. I'm just gonna make a connection to his arm. Hook, hold. You don't have to I definitely don't wanna break the grip, and I don't wanna fight it. I'm gonna leave it and let it go. So I'm gonna bring my hips up high. So I wanna bring my legs up high and my hips up high like this. You don't have to go all the way over, you can, but I'm here like this where I'm pinching and like alligator biting my knees together. I hold his arm and then I can go forward and I get an arm bar right here. Yes, I can go, but I don't really want to go all the way over. This will allow, Chris, can you do like a forward roll like I'm gonna do? Like I don't want to go, and I know we're going on to the concrete and stuff, right? But I don't want him to roll that way. The reason I don't want him to roll is because once he gets there, I don't have a clean back attack, okay? All right, so he's got my collar. I come around the corner, right? I'm here, I set him on his side, try to stay up on his knees a little bit, bud. So as I'm here, if I go for this arm lock and he lets go of the arm, I'm right on his back, you see? So if we roll through into like to the spider web and whatnot, I don't have such easy access to his back. I only have the arm lock. So this combination right here of keeping his arm, so I have the arm bar. I pinch and I face the ground and I've got the arm lock. If he ever lets go anywhere in that process, I'm on his back. Okay, so there's a little bit of a combination there. One more time. Reverse Delaware worm, and you can stay standing this time if you want, Chris. I'll just be gentle. All right, so I'm here. I'm not gonna be fighting with this, keeping the distance with my foot. Right, I have the hook. Someone tries to pull away, I can take my hook and bring him to me. I can also keep him away with my foot going this way, so there's different versions of it, right? I come around the corner, I have him nice and easy, and I have him loaded, okay? I can actually duck around his arm. Even though I have his arm like this, he's still holding on the lapel. He'll eventually let go on his own, and I have his back. So you can duck under that arm, you can attack that arm, you can take the back on its own. It's pretty cool. If you play with it back and forth, you realize it's like super high percentage.